Hey there, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another review, yes, of a newer film. And I know I have not seen a lot of films that have come out this year. I have not seen the new Death Wish film. I have not seen films like Annihilation or the new Tomb Raider film or Pacific Rim 2 or I think A Quiet Place is coming out. But I haven't seen a lot of films that come out this year. This one, I did have one guy ask me about it, and I'm like, oh, I don't know, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I want to go to the theater for it, but I talked to this person about it. He was very nice. I think he enjoyed the film. I think he liked it, and this has gotten quite a few good reviews. And being a big fan of the '80s, although I'm also a big fan of the '90s, among others. Figured, you know what, give this a look. Never read the book it's based on. Steven Spielberg film. Overall, I thought it was okay. I did not love the film. I have problems, issues with the film. But I can't say I hate the film. Because I'm like, okay, this is... I don't think I would ever own this film on Blu-ray. I don't know if I'd ever watch this again unless maybe find it somewhere and during some of the very fucking chaotic scenes where I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Just to try to catch all the Easter eggs. Which I didn't understand why people would call this Easter eggs the movie, or nostalgia the movie. Because it kind of is that. But if you take away the visuals, which I think the visuals are nice. I mean, I can't say, oh, it looks like a video game, because it's supposed to be in a video game. This VR world called the OASIS. So the effects made sense. It has some nice visual quality to it. The references were fun. There were some in there I did not expect and were fun. There's also some that pissed me off, which I'll get to the... I would say overall, I liked the film okay as a time waster because of the visuals and the references and some of the music. The song Jump that's in the trailers, that's in the movie. We're Not Going to Take It. That song, that's in the movie. I'll get more into the references where I get more into spoilers. It's just my issue with the film, why I don't love it. The lead guy is fucking bland as shit. I mean, of course I looked this guy up. He's Cyclops in X-Men Apocalypse. I would say I'd rather watch this than X-Men Apocalypse. See, X-Men Apocalypse I ranted on. I think that movie's a fucking shit show. And the guy who plays Cyclops was shit. And they get this guy. Why did they get this guy? Now, you can blame the writing, or you can blame the acting. You blame it on the fucking rain. Yeah, for all I care. This guy sucked. Tie Job, Tie-Dye, whatever the fuck his name is. He fucking sucked. Sheridan. Here's the thing. I need to stop saying that. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. They have him driving the Back to the Future car, the DeLorean, and they have Alan Silvestri, who did the score for this film. He also did the score for Back to the Future. Back to the Future, though, had a good story, and it had characters you actually care about, an investment in the characters. And Marty McFly was not a hollow character. He's a very likable character that you could relate to, and Michael J. Fox had that presence and great acting. Ferris Bueller, I know there are some people I know who don't like Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I love Ferris Bueller's Day Off. And Matthew Broderick, he had something in his acting, his character, and him and Michael J. Fox, they have charm to them. Sheridan does not have charm to him. And he's one of my biggest problems with the movie. We're not going to get character development if you go into that, because we jump right into the OASIS. You get quite a bit of narration just to explain all the shit. How the lady, Artemis, aka, what was her name in real life? Samantha. Olivia Cooke. She had a bit of a better presence than fucking the lead guy. And I haven't seen her in too much stuff, Olivia Cooke. Actually, I haven't seen her in any of these movies. I haven't seen Ouija or other stuff, but like, she did better. But it's not like you did like this much of her character, but it's like she. And the other side characters, which creates a total of 5, so they call themselves High Five. I can't really say I gave much of a shit about them. And that hurts. Going back to film Steven Spielberg produced in the past. The Goonies. You care about the Goonies. Were there in-depth character development? No, but they had like presence, and they had banter that wasn't just about the plot. And I don't know, there's a lot of visual feasts and references, but it's like, okay, if you took out all the references, which I know is a big part of the movie, but if you took out the references, would there be any reason to like the movie? If you think about that. If it didn't have all the references to what was in the... I'll just base it what was on the trailer. The Iron Giant and the DeLorean and the T-Rex from Jurassic Park and King Kong. If you didn't have those references, would people like the movie? The story is pretty much Willy Wonka mixed in with a little bit of, I don't know, for some reason made me think of Tron or something. But it's pretty much Willy Wonka. Instead of getting the golden ticket, it's get the 3 keys. And you'll own the factory or own the OASIS. You have the generic evil corporate guy, and the actor was very generic and bland white bread motherfucker. And then like an evil subordinate of him was T.J. Miller, who is the Deadpool's friend in Deadpool. And I don't think he fit the part. I mean, they were trying to do something, but I don't know, T.J. Miller didn't do it for me in that part. I think when you look at a movie like The Last Starfighter, which I know there's a reference in the line of dialogue from The Last Starfighter. You look at that movie, part of what made that movie work is there was magic. And you can't artificially create magic. It just happens. And that character by Lance Guest was easy to root for. I could see myself in his shoes. And the character in this and the character in The Last Starfighter are both characters from Trailer Park that then gets into something bigger than himself. But Lance Guest had whatever he's done. Yeah, he was in Jaws 4. Okay. In that film, he did a good job. He was likable. He was relatable. This guy in this movie, I'm sorry, I don't care about him one bit. I don't care. I didn't think he had any charm. I didn't think he had any likability. I didn't think he had any talent, honestly. He was sort of a block of blank wood. But I will say, it was worth a watch to see the visual effects. There's one thing in particular with a certain movie, a horror movie, which if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about, which I really, really liked, really enjoyed, which I'll get to in the spoilers. A lot of fun references, again, stuff I didn't see coming. And granted, some of the action scenes were so chaotic, I when you watch this, it's like, okay, movie theater, could you pause? Because I'm sure there was a bunch of shit I missed, and maybe that's the point, is that you want to go back and rewatch in the movie theater, which I'm not going to do that shit. Or go back and rewatch in this and that, which I'm not going to. Maybe online and in HD, because I don't love the movie that much to want to buy it and want to own it. Of course, granted, nowadays you can get the movie pass ticket and be cheap enough. But it's just, I'm sort of in this thing where it's an okay time waster at best for the visuals and references, but the story and the ending felt kind of very schmaltzy, but also kind of almost preachy. And the characters kind of sucked. Well, the lead character did suck. The villain was pretty lame. But it was references, visuals, music. Okay time waster at the movies for that. I'm probably not more mad because I've seen much worse movies, both in the past and I'm sure in the future. So, but I got the spoilers to better explain that. Starting right now, spoilers. It was cool to have the character reference Buckaroo. His favorite film is Buckaroo Banzai, so he dresses in the tie and such of Buckaroo Banzai. It was cool in an action scene when the lady is having the pulse rifle from Aliens and shooting. It was cool when the guy has the Zemeckis cube, and that means when he throws his Rubik's cube, it makes people go back as if going back in time, and he even had the Back to the Future sting, da-da-da, as it turns on. It was cool when there's a part where the lady, her character's Artemis, she pretends, has this costume, like it's her avatar, but then she has another costume over it where it's Goro from Mortal Kombat, who takes the lead guy, takes him to a secluded spot, and then the chestburster alien comes out, steers the guy, and then she takes off all that and says, "Hi, I got you." And hey, man, these people know who you are. You gotta have an outfit. You have a disguise. So here's some Clark Kent glasses, puts it on, and immediately the guy changes appearance. Like, references of that nature was fun. The horror bit, the 3 T's, the first T is car race, the second T, these characters literally go into the movie The Shining. That was really cool. To be in the movie The Shining. From 1980. Literally in the movie. And there's even a scene where you have the elevator and the blood flows and they're flowing around the blood. And there's even the scene, which I'm like, kind of surprised because I was thinking this was just a kid's movie. And you have the woman in the bathtub, not the titties. Although if they went the extra mile with the titties, I would have, like, that's ballsy. But no, they kind of, with editing, but it's like the woman, good-looking woman, and then turns crazy. And then this sort of interesting thing where one character falls and is in the hedge maze. And you see, I'm guessing it was the legs of Jack Nicholson's character, but then also this giant, like the woman with a giant axe hidden through the hedge maze. And like the way it was done, I'm like, wow, this is like a really cool nod to The Shining. It was very inventive. And that's why I can't hate the movie. I'm sorry. I cannot hate the movie when you have that whole scene with The Shining was kind of genius. And I give, a golf clap to that. I give a bit of props to that. I do. And the car racing, I'm sure there's stuff I missed. I mean, you have King Kong in there, you got the T-Rex in there. On one of the movie theater marquees is Jack Slater 3, because one of the writers of the film did Last Action Hero, so someone put that in. But you have to be like an eagle eye to see shit like that. I think some of the cars, I believe the woman was it was the motorcycle from Akira. And the lead guy had the DeLorean. I believe the old Batman car from the Adam West TV show was in there. I think that's the thing with that action scene. Like, there was some nice visuals, but it was so chaotic that I'm trying to find the Easter eggs, and I'm looking over here, I'm missing. I'm looking over, I'm missing. I'm like, okay, this is so chaotic that I guess I'm getting old in my age. I got discombobulated very easily and very quickly. It was just so much of almost like a clusterfuck that I'm like, well, wait, what? Okay, there might be some cool. So that was, to be honest, kind of annoying. And a friend of mine said it best when we were talking. He said, maybe the reason why the Shining bit was the best was because it actually took time to fucking breathe. And then you get to the action scene in the finale, when all the characters crash and clash. One reference I fucking hated, it really made me want to go, fuck this movie. They had the Ninja Turtles. And it's from the Michael Bay ones. And of course I know why. Because Steven Spielberg is friends with Michael Bay, who produced those pieces of shit. Even though it's supposed to be the 80s, there's so much 80s shit in here. You know, I don't want to call it shit, I love the 80s. So much 80s stuff here. Sorry, imagine those fucking mongoloid, chud-looking, steroid-using motherfucking turtles. Like this Raphael bits from the Michael Bay with the stupid fucking do-rag that choked his ass with. Why wasn't the 80s or the 90s Ninja Turtles? Why was the Michael Bay ones? And that just pissed me off. I went, oh my god, fuck you, movie. I really want to go, fuck you, movie. Fuck you, movie. I'm like, fuck this movie, I'm done, son. Some of the simple stuff, yeah. Sometimes I'm a simple man. Simple things that can make me like it, simple things that make me hate it. Oh yeah, Michael Bay, Ninja Turtles, fuck you, movie. You can suck my balls. I really wanted to say that. But, yeah, that's not being fair. Well, fuck fair. Because the other stuff, like the bad guy gets in this, it's a Mecha Godzilla, and then one of the 5 heroes has a Gundam, so a Gundam versus Mecha Godzilla. And I know there's like a bunch of characters in the fight, but at the end it was so chaotic. I know I missed a lot of shit. It was so fucking chaotic. One of my favorite references, which I did not expect, it was a pretty big scene, is T.J. Miller is going to shoot and stop them. And one of them literally is looking for weapons. I will say, though, this almost makes up for the fact you have the stupid fucking Michael Bay Ninja Turtles in there. This almost makes up for that. The weapon, not the lead, Sally. Well, if it was a good lead, maybe I would give a shit. The lead sucked. I'm sorry, that's one of my big problems. The lead sucked. But one of the characters, I think it was the ninja character. The glaive from Kroll. The glaive. And I went, is that the glaive? And you have it swing, and there's a shot where you see the camera behind the glaive. I'm like, holy shit, the glaive. Okay, you got the glaive in there. I'll almost let you go for the Michael Bay Turtles bullshit because you got the glaive, which is one of my favorite weapons. In fact, one day I've always thought I want to own a glaive. I'll probably cut my hand, but I want to own a glaive or something. I love that weapon. I wish it was used more in Kroll. That's one of my problems with Kroll. I wish it was used more because I love that fucking weapon. But it's the glaive. Holy shit, it's the glaive. But, so there's fun visual things that I'm sure I missed a shitload because there's a lot of chaotic stuff. This is stupid coming from me. I know it's going to sound stupid, but at times I felt like it was going too fast. Which is, you're going too fast. Like, calm down a little bit, movie. You're going too fast. Like, you have all this shit, like, all this shit I'm going to miss. Especially if you're watching, like, if you're in a theater for the first time, you don't miss a lot of the shit. Well, I'm gonna miss a lot of this shit. But yeah, the Buckaroo Banzai, the pulse rifle, someone shooting, the Zemeckis tube, the Goro with the chest burster, the Shining whole big sequence was awesome. Mecha Godzilla, you have a Gundam, you have the Glaive, the Iron Giant. When the Iron Giant goes in this fire, it gives the Terminator 2 thumbs up. The ending when the lead character gets it by winning playing an Atari game. The ending bugged the fuck out of me for some reason because it was this almost. It was almost like an old man. You youngsters with your video games? Because what it is, it's the creator of the game who's dead, but like his avatar, spirit, whatever is in there, whatever the fuck you want to call it, who acts really weird. Like the character, I don't know if there was something wrong with the guy's head. He was just fucked up, but just the way he acted, like a friend of mine said, it was like he was an old Garth from fucking Wayne's World. It's just, he's like almost like, is this guy fucked in the head? Did he take too much acid, LSD, or as Captain Kirk would say, Star Trek 4, did he take too much LDS? What the? Even that character was a bit annoying, just the way he was acting. Like, what the fuck? And then Simon Pegg is there as the creator's buddy, which I called this when there's a part where the robot butler is talking, and I'm listening carefully. And before this, we've seen that Simon Pegg is in the real world as a friend of the creator. And I'm like, okay, well, number one is Simon Pegg. He's going to be you don't have Simon Pegg in there unless it's some kind of essential stuff. And I'm listening to this robot butler who then gives the lead character this coin. I'm like, that voice sounds familiar. Is that fucking Simon Pegg? That sounds like Simon Pegg. Oh. Simon Pegg has to be essential. Simon Pegg is the butler. At the end, Simon Pegg was the fucking butler. I'm like, well, yeah, that's a twist. I fucking saw that coming. And then you get to the end, and he gets the 3 keys. He can have control of the OASIS. But then, like, this weird scene about reality, and I get what the movie's trying to say. Like, reality, that's the place you can get a good meal. Reality is, real. And that's why, like, one of the last bits of dialogue is the lead character doing a narration saying, okay, we own the OASIS, but we're only going to have it 5 days a week, and we're going to have it closed 2 days so that people can get out into the real world. And I get what it was trying to do, but it seemed like schmaltzy, corny. Like, it just the way it was done, it was almost as if Willy Wonka with Gene Wilder, if it ended with telling the kid, stop being a fat ass, don't eat any more candy, you don't own the candy factory, you have some candy, but don't eat too much candy, you'd be a fat ass, stop being fat, stop being fat. I don't want to see if they did a Willy Wonka today, they would have something about candy. And these children can't have too much candy to stop being fat. Don't be fat ass. Oh my god, I could literally see a Willy Wonka movie today that they cast someone and it'd just be some fucking message about candy and being fat. I could see it. And this was almost like, stop living in your fucking basement, get out and go in the real world. And like, I get what you're saying, man, but it sounds like an old man talking to kids. It sounds like, I don't know, I get it, but I don't think it was done well. I don't know how else to word it than that. And that's what I mean, I have issues with the film. The ending just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I don't know how else to explain it. Again, it just made me think like if Willy Wonka ended with Willy Wonka stop being fat. The action scenes at times were a bit too fucking chaotic, so it's like, oh, I know there's some cool Easter eggs I'm missing. As I I miss them. I guess I support to watch it later, rewatchability. But that is like so chaotic, and I think if the lead character you had an actor, or you better written. That's why people like. That's one of the reasons people like The Last Starfighter. That's one of the reasons why people love Back to the Future. Back to the Future is not an effects movie. Back to the Future is a character movie. Did you have the DeLorean? And, you know, little steams of Back to the Future and Alan Silvestri doing a score, which at times kind of sounds like the Back to the Future score. But what's made... To me, this is not a film that's going to be a classic, because Back to the Future was about characters, Dot Brown, Marty McFly, that you really liked, and you felt some reality and some dimensions to the character. I'm not saying dimensions like it's got to be Oscar caliber. I'm saying like it's likability and charm and something. And like characters like this lead guy was a blank slate. He was bland, boring, and bleh. Was meh. And you needed like a better actor or a better written part for that lead character. And even the side characters and the villain was one-dimensional, lame villain. And it's not even like an interesting or charismatic actor for the villain. I'm like, imagine like, I don't know, John Cusack. I mean, John Cusack hates the 80s. Have John Cusack be the villain. Because I know he hates some of his 80s movies. I think that'd be fun. Have John Cusack be the villain. That would have been pretty, that actually would have been pretty fun to see John Cusack as the villain. Because, you know, he did Hot Tub Time Machine, but even that, the line his character has, I hate the 80s. I'm like, in real life, I think he does hate the 80s, so. So, while I didn't care for the acting, didn't care for the characters, especially the lead, the villain was lame, one-dimensional, the story was like Willy Wonka, and if Willy Wonka met Tron, kind of what it is, and then the ending rubbed me the wrong way, the actions were pretty chaotic, but I don't know, as a time waster to sit back and shut my brain off, I'm like, you know what, there's fun Easter eggs, fun references, except that Michael Bay Ninja Turtle shit just went, fuck. But the Glaive and Iron Giant, Mechagodzilla, the bit with The Shining, to me was the best part of the movie. It even had the music from The Shining. And just like, wow, that's Warner Brothers and Universal and all these studios getting together. Well, for Spielberg, I guess they will. I commend it for that, but at the same time, it's not going to be a classic like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, which got a lot of characters together, but you also had a really good lead, Bob Hoskins, who was a really good character. And that's why, you know, Who Framed Roger Rabbit is a classic. This one, decent visual Easter egg time waster, but I can't hate the film, but it's not a film that's going to last the sands of time, so to speak. Maybe get together with friends. Oh, look at that cool scene. Look at that cool scene. You know, on DVD, Blu-ray, or VOD, whatever. It's like, oh, look at that scene. Oh, pause it. Look at that. There's that and that. You know. Other than that, the score by Alan Silvestri was fairly decent. It was fairly decent. Can't really say about the cinematography, because I would say like 90% of this movie's in a VR world. So the visuals are fine, considering what it was in a VR world. I think it would have been cool if the lead, at least the avatar, if it was I think it would have been cool if there was like some memorable character. Like some recognizable character. Even if it was like Ryu from Street Fighter, or like if the main character looked like Duke Nukem. which I think Dune Nukem you saw peripherally, or like some recognizable character. I think that would have been kind of fun and interesting, just visually, instead of his sort of look like a wannabe Final Fantasy, which I didn't care for the look of his avatar. It was like a wannabe Final Fantasy character. Like, where's your fucking gun sword? But, you know, whatever. But yeah, maybe if the avatar was more cool. Oh, one other bit I thought was fun is the guy's looking for weapons, and one weird weapon the guy comes up with during the final battle is a Chucky doll. And then it actually throws Chucky, which I know Chucky was in it because it was in a TV like commercial spot, but I thought it was actual someone beating that character. I didn't know it was going to be used as a weapon that you throw and just killing, you know, avatars. So sadly, that's like the best Chucky, best thing Chucky's been in since like Child's Play 3. So that's fucking sad. But I mean, Spielberg's filmography, honestly, for me, this is one of the ones I've seen. This is one of his lesser ones. I'm the guy that doesn't hate Minority Report. I'm the guy that does not hate War of the Worlds. I would put those above this. Indiana Jones Last Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, considering how much hate that film got, Indiana Jones and Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, I will watch 10 times over this movie. And I did a review of it, defending it. It has problems, but I like that 10 times more than this. And that film got a lot of shit, and this film, I don't hate the film. It's okay, it's a time waster, the visuals, the references, the Easter eggs, the shining bit, the cool, the music. Yeah, we're not gonna take it, jump. What are some of the other music? Joan Jett, I Hate Myself for Loving You, Faith by George Michael. I'm surprised that song Take On Me was in it, because I know that was in one of the trailers. But yeah. Oh, at Spielberg's request, Silvestri references his own music from Back to the Future within the film's score. No wonder remind me of it. Yeah, the music of The Shining in that sequence, that was really cool. So, that's why I've seen so much worse fucking movies that it was... The Time Waster... OK Timewaster really fits it perfectly, yeah. You know what? As I do this review, I think maybe when it gets on VOD, maybe I'll give it another watch so I could pinpoint the Easter eggs. We'll rewatch The Shining bit again. But other than that, yeah, I'll probably give it one more watch when it comes to, so I can actually freeze it and stuff, and good, you know. Well, you just do it online right now. In good picture quality, not dark and shaky and shit. It just freezes. Okay, there's that. But this is a film I would never care to own or anything. But that's just me. Anyway, those are my thoughts on Ready Player One. It's not a rant, folks, so calm down. Thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.